Here we go. Welcome everybody to the Bomb Squad team call. Tonight is Wednesday. I think it's October 16th. And like always, let's start with some Jesus calling. Look to me continually for help, comfort, and companionship, because I am always by your side. The briefest glance can connect you with me. When you look to me for help, it flows freely from my presence. This recognition of your need for me in small matters as well as in large keeps you spiritually alive. When you need comfort, I love to enfold you in my arms. I enable you not only to feel comforted, but also to be a channel through whom I comfort others. Thus, you are doubly blessed because a living channel absorbs some of whatever flows through it. Isn't that sort of like coaching? I like that. I'm going to read that again. When you need comfort, I love to enfold you in my arms. I enable you not only to feel comforted, but also to be a channel through whom I comfort others. Thus, you are doubly blessed because a living channel absorbs some of whatever flows through it. My constant companionship is the, this is like French. My constant companionship is the pièce de résistance, the summit of salvation blessings. No matter what losses you experience in your life, no one can take away this glorious gift. And for those who like to research this stuff, that's from Psalm 34, 4 through 6, Psalm 105, 4, and 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 3 and 4. All right. Hello, people. Got a lot to do tonight. Let's get right to it. So I'm going to fly through announcements this time because they've been pretty much the same the last couple calls. So if you watched the recordings before, you know what they are. Pumpkin Spice is back, but it won't be here for long. If you're interested in team order of Pumpkin Spice, I keep saying I'm going to do it. I keep forgetting to do it. So let's chat. We don't know what's going on with Platinum Edge in Dallas. When we hear about that for February, we'll get back to you. We do know Coach Summit, New Orleans, it's going to be bomb. We do know super weekends coming up all over the country for us locals in Pittsburgh. That's on Friday, November 1st, Saturday, November 2nd. And a little birdie told me some of us might even be invited to something on Sunday, but that's not my place to talk about Sunday. But if anyone else wants to talk about that Sunday, November 3rd, they're welcome to do that.
It's team brunch. Look at his face light up. And Liz.
What a good idea.
Anybody who is in the Pittsburgh area or would like to fly in, Cloud, you're invited. Come on over to the Spawn Cellar House. I will create some type of Facebook event and share my address and instructions if you guys need help. Maybe carpool if you can, because it's street parking and it's a small little neighborhood. But if it's nice out, we can go out in the backyard and do some team yoga.
Or we could go through that pile of junk mail behind you.
my fire starting hoarding problem.
We've all got one of those desks, and I love that you just take the call right in front of that, because that's real life. So yeah, Coach Brandy down there in my bottom screen. I don't know if she's on everyone's bottom screen, but how cool is she? She invited the team to go to Sunday brunch at her home, like at her house. So she lives in North Hills of Pittsburgh. We'll put details in the team page for you. But isn't that nice?
BYOB. Bring your own bacon.
BYOB, bring your own bacon. I love it. So cool. Okay. I also wrote the word collagen on here because who knew that some dude would be a fan of Beachbody Collagen, but I am. Morning Meltdowns added to the library. You guys probably all know that already. And another announcement is you guys should have this email. You have promo codes if you want to help anybody out getting 6 weeks of the work. What? That is live, and my code is probably different than your code, but it looks like that we can give exclusive promo codes for $20 off a challenge pack or $10 off a 6 weeks of the work completion pack. Okay, so if you have questions on that, you can always FAQ or ask in the team page, whatever. Okay, so I've been thinking a lot. I mean, we've been reading this book together to each other. Basically, that's been me reading to all of you. And one of the things in this book that's really hitting me is a lot of you guys, a lot of us, me included, have enrolled a lot of people over the years. And a lot of the people we've enrolled haven't stuck it out with us, right? Cloud's giving me a nod yes. Randy, Liz with the yes. So I was thinking, like, the people who did stick around, why did they stick around? And this book that I've been reading to you is called The 45-Second Presentation. It has the answers in there. We're going to read a little bit of it in a little bit, but for those of you who are watching this recording and aren't going to maybe sit through the whole 30-minute recording today, the basic answer is the people who see a pot of gold at the end of their journey stick it out. That pot of gold can contain money, it can contain friendships, it could contain a new shape of their body, weight loss, or toning up muscles like Cloud showing us there. So I feel like for me, I enrolled because I saw a business opportunity. I don't want to speak for Liz. Liz enrolled, I think, because she wanted to get fit for her friend Gabby's wedding. She's given the thumbs up, and she wanted to have a different shape of her body by the time the wedding rolled around, which I think was on June 2nd or July 2nd. It was Kenny Chesney Day. We'll never forget it because your girl Gabby decided to have her wedding on Kenny Chesney Day. Of course, Gabby picked the wedding date before she knew Kenny Chesney was coming to town. But anyway, so I was at Kenny Chesney. The girls were all at Gabby's wedding. What a day. It lives in infamy because it got Liz started. And then we were going to Nashville, and that's what got Gabby started. But that's another story for another day. Everybody has their own reasons for joining us, of course. But what are their reasons for sticking around? So I feel like we've done a pretty good job of showing people that we work out. We pretty much do that every day. Every day I go live with the workout, even though it's my least favorite part of Beachbody. But that's what I put out there for 45 minutes on a Facebook Live every day. My favorite part of Beachbody is making money. And I show pretty much zero of that on my social media. And my second favorite part of Beachbody, which is a very close second, is actually having people to speak to, talk to, hang out with, go eat with, do things with. And I feel like I show a little bit about that on social media. So when we get into this chapter, you know, hopefully maybe in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I've had a lot of conversations in the last 7 days since our last call. And pretty much every conversation with the coach that I'm talking to on our team is pretty much them thinking about them and like what program they're going to do and when they're going to start and all this, and all that is super important. What I'm also trying to get people to think about is their people. So like we're going to run a group. The group isn't really as much for the rock star coaches who already are doing the workouts. They're going to do their workouts pretty much whether I have a group or not. The group that in my mind is to allow you guys to make money. So we have a place to put people that when the person actually gets into that place, it's a party and they feel supported. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I'm not attempting to run a team challenge group for my own workouts or for any of you rock stars who work out without a group. I'm trying to create a place that when we put someone in there, they can relate to other beginners and they can support each other. None of us have to make all the content. You know, none of us have to make a post every day. because we work together. And some of you were on a call, 2 months ago when we first talked about that. Like, if we work together, tag each other in things, tag each other in stories, then there's content on our pages without us doing all the work. Everybody can do a little bit of work, but then there's this party that's worth showing and sharing. But just tagging each other in stories was like step one or level one. I mean, we haven't really signed anybody up because we tag people in stories yet. There's now another layer to it. Go ahead, Brandy. I see you.
Is there a way to, I mean, I feel like there was a lot of hype and follow and excitement and FOMO. I mean, I didn't even ask. I just jumped in on the Epic Water Challenge and the stories and the tagging. And just by that, I feel like I acquired more interest, more people, more awareness of my consistency, accountability, and tribe. Like, people are seeing that it's not just me that's doing the Zoom calls and the workouts. You're right. I haven't had people sign up per se, but I've had 3 to 4 different people reach out to me, congratulating me, asking me where the motivation is, asking me how I do it, what did I do, or just simply saying, you look great. I'm so proud of you for looking happy. It could be as much as that. Could there be a way? I mean, obviously we're not going to say epic check bonus hashtag in our Instagram stories, or at least I don't know if we should, but could there be a way that like we create in an internal behind the scenes for now type of challenge and or like this Instagram feed that we have going where one person asks a question, 10 other people are like, oh yeah, I thought that same thing, but nobody's asking the questions or looking it up.
Great idea. Once again, Brandy, great idea. And why can't we post that somebody got a raise last Thursday, or that, you know what I mean? Now we have to put like income disclaimers because they're not guaranteed raises, all those things. But yeah, that's a great point, because I mean, epic water challenges are important, and water is important to us, and fresh air and sunshine challenge is awesome and important. But did anybody really come to us because we're having an epic water challenge? People might come to us though if it looks like a party, if they're getting healthy, and if there's some benefit to them. And look who's on, Sunset Yoga Champion of the World, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. If you guys ever want to do some sunset yoga, there's your girl. Hello, Danny.
Hey, Danny.
She's probably getting all her buttons pushed on microphone and audio.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
Hi, I am in bed, so don't mind me, but I'm listening along.
Okay, great. Well, we should alert you in case you turn your camera on that we are recording this call. So just that's a heads up. It doesn't need to be posted if anything weird happens, but it's not going live anywhere at this moment. But okay, so Brandy, that's a great thought and a great idea, and let's continue to build on those ideas, because Priya, this is like the best call ever. Hi, Priya.
Say hello. Hi. This is Scott, Cloud, Liz, and Danny.
Hi.
Good to see you, Priya. Okay, so we're going to move in. We're going to read just one chapter today, and I'm sure we'll have time to talk again at the end here. Let me find.
I'm trying to remember how to get my own Super Saturday started. They changed the website.
Ah, okay. All right, desktop share. And if somebody could please tell me with a thumbs up if you can see the desktop. Okay, Liz is saying yes. Okay, so for those of you watching this on the replay, this is where we've been kind of going along. We're going to be on chapter 12 already. We've been every week we've been going through this personal development. And this is under Mom Squad Facebook group. And then it's under files. We have some handouts in here, and then go way to the bottom, and then there's one more. You have to click see more to get to it. 45-second presentation. this was posted in here, was the very first thing I ever put into our team page, because I feel that it is what helped me go from 13 months of coaching with nobody with me. I mean, you guys don't know. The bomb squad used to be me for 13 months alone. So, and then this, like it says, the title, a 45-second presentation that will change your life. Boom. Okay, so I think that we were on like page 60 some. So let me get way down here. If I can move you, I guess I can move you guys out of the thing here so I can scroll quicker. Oh, you changed from vertical pane to horizontal. All right, almost there. Getting there. Chapter 11 is what we did last week, the Pentagon of Growth. That one was a little confusing. It's probably my least favorite of all the chapters. Okay, here we go. This is perfect for Danny, who just started back to school. Just what she wants to hear, more about school. Chapter 12, going back to school. Your attitude can make a big difference when you are trying to sponsor a new distributor. Most distributors seem to have the attitude, who can I get? I've said that before. Have you guys ever said that? Who can I get? The proper attitude might be, to whom will I offer the next opportunity to retire? And this is the other thing I wanted to say at the beginning of the call. I think as a group, maybe our belief level that we're going to retire off this is not at the highest point it's ever been. At the first, when I went to the first summit that I went to, which was 2013, they asked us to write down some goals. Very first thing I wrote down was, I will help 4 people make $100,000. It was the first goal I wrote. It had nothing to do with weight loss, didn't have anything to do with anything. I will help 4 people make $100,000. Now, I already thought I had those 4 people several times. And I think I have them now. I think they're all like in the little boxes right there. I can see you all. See you. You know what I mean? And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But here's the thing. I'm not going to be able to help anybody make 100,000 until I make 100,000. So guess what? I'm getting there. I'm close. Income disclaimer, insert here. And eventually, I want to help you guys make $1 million. So guess what? That seems so totally ridiculous. Well, once I make 100,000, I'm 1/10 of the way to my first million. Isn't that weird? And right now I'm at 86,000 career earnings. So income disclaimer. So I want to help you make 80. I know how to make 86,000. I just did it. So I can help you make 20 or 50 or 80, whatever you want to do. You just got to recreate what I did already. Pretty easy. Okay. And remember, I started as a dude at 40 who was overweight. You're better shape than me. You're in better shape. I don't mean physically. You're in a better situation than I am to make any money at this. Trust me. All right, here we go. Your attitude can make a big difference when you're trying to sponsor a new distributor. Most people say, who can I get? The proper attitude might be, to whom will I offer the next opportunity to retire? If you believe a person could retire in 1 to 3 years, and you understood how to present this possibility in a presentation that takes 2 minutes, why would you want to give this opportunity to a stranger? That didn't make much sense, but let's go on here. To be able to retire in 1 to 3 years at better than 50 grand a year, a person must be willing to go back to school. Makes sense, right? You got to learn something. If you're going to retire at 50,000 a year, you have to learn how to do that. You must be willing to go back to school. They can learn everything they would need to know by investigating 5 to 10 hours per week for 6 months. Retiring simply means not going to work unless you want to. If someone tells you they will give it 30 days and just see how it goes, don't waste your time with that person. That's not your ace. You can't dig a foundation for this in 30 days. It's going to take you guys at least 6 months. Me too. The school I'm referring to is a school of involvement. From the time you leave your home for your weekly training session, attend the meeting. Now, this is when people used to go and meet in person, is when this book was written. Have coffee and drive home. You've already spent 3 to 5 hours invested that week. The rest of the time is spent listening to positive motivation tapes, tapes about your program, meeting with your sponsor, attending sizzle sessions, talking to prospects, etc. Now remember, if you're not following along, maybe you needed to read the first 11 chapters or come and hang out with us if you're not getting where this is going. But this is talking about how we're going to learn. If you stick with me for a couple more minutes, this will make sense to you. This is how you're going to learn how to retire in this business. This can all be done along with anything else you've already been doing outside of MLM. While doing seminars, I've asked this question all across the United States and Canada. Does anyone know of a 4-year college course? So forget Beachbody and forget all this for a second. Do you know of a 4-year college course where you can graduate, then hope to retire in 1 to 3 years at better than 50 grand a year? I'll wait. I've never had anyone tell me of one. No one anywhere can come up with a college course where that's a remote possibility. That's what's so excited about multi-level marketing. You can actually learn in 6 months everything you know to retire in 1 to 3 years. Do you remember when you were in college and you went to the bookstore, you bought your books for the quarter? I guess that's supposed to be a semester. Big, heavy, thick textbooks. You could hardly wait to get back to your room so you could start studying all of them. Do you remember how you could hardly wait till the end of the quarter to be tested on the material? While you were going to school, did anybody pay you to go? Since you went to college for 4 years without getting paid, since you had no hope of retiring in 1 to 3 years, why do you get so concerned about how little you've made in your first few months in MLM? Remember, you're in school. Right now, you're in MLM school. Some people in MLM get discouraged after a few weeks. Have any of us had people get discouraged after a few weeks as soon as they ask one person and they say, no, of course. Well, they don't have a right to be discouraged unless they've had 6 months of school. Try letting a medical student operate on you after they've been in school for a few weeks. You'd probably be disappointed with the outcome. Ask a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist, or any other professional person how long they've been practicing their profession. Their answer will be figured from the time they graduate, not from their first day of being a freshman. Like, just because people sign up as a coach doesn't mean they're educated on how to be a coach. When you ask someone in MLM how long they've been in the business, they will tell you from the day they signed up with their distributor agreement or app. You should actually keep track of the time you were in the MLM business, beginning from the time when you actually know what you're doing. The only time you will be disappointed is when you expect something and you don't get it or it doesn't happen. We've all, on our team, we've had so many people expect to come in and be rich instantly. The only time that anyone was disappointed is when they expected something. They expected to lose 50 pounds in a week and they didn't get it or it didn't happen. Too many distributors come into MLM expecting to start making big money right away. First and foremost, you need to go to school. That will take at least 6 months. Consider those going to college. After 6 months into their freshman year, they still have 3.5 years to go before they're even ready to look for a job. Okay, I'm going to pause here for a second, and I hope this is making sense. You're going to have coaches that we're going to sign up. Somebody has to teach them these things so that they're not disappointed and quit in 2 weeks or by the next month, if we want them to be business thinking. So somebody's got to teach this to your people. Now, if you have time to teach it to your people, great. If you don't, we got to get them on calls. We got to get them somewhere. We got to get people on something that's going to get them fired up and educated so that they understand this stuff right away, as soon as they get in. Like that paragraph that we just read. Like, because if they have such high expectations, and we don't deliver for them, it's like overpromise and underdeliver for them, they're going to be out quick. All right. So to be really successful in MLM, you must teach someone else to be successful. I'll say this again. The people who are still here for me, this is a personal thing, are the people who I helped be successful. The people who I didn't help be successful aren't here. To be really successful, you must teach someone else to be successful. So your person signing up is just not even like step one. We got to help them have success as soon as possible. Your distributors need to quit being so concerned about what kind of money they're making and increase their concern for teaching and working with their downline. All of us need to be less concerned with what kind of money we're making right off the bat and increase our concern for teaching and working with our downline. The quicker we do this, the quicker those people will find real success. But this takes time. This is the problem. We're all running around crazy doing 8 million things. This takes time to do these things. Before we can teach others, first we got to learn this ourselves. If you have distributors in your organization who have trouble talking to their friends, it's probably because they don't believe they could retire in 1 to 3 years. 10-minute. If you have coaches on your team who have trouble talking to their friends, it's probably because they don't believe that they could actually retire off of this in 1 to 3 years, or they don't understand how they could actually make it happen. The following is a simple presentation you can use to show how someone could build a large income in 6 months to 3 years. It takes a few minutes to learn, and then it takes 2 minutes to actually make this presentation. Now, some of you were in person in a restaurant when I did this. I'm talking to the recorded people too, not just the people that are on here live. And some of you were on this call when we read this in chapter 2. This is a variation taken from napkin presentation number 1, which was chapter 2 of this file. Let's assume you have a new distributor to whom you say, with all of the people you know or could meet with my help, do you think you could sponsor 5 coaches by the end of your first month? People that would like to learn how to retire in 1 to 3 years. Most people would say, everyone I know would love to be able to retire in 1 to 3 years. Don't make the mistake of going with your distributor to see 5 people at one time. Go with, this book was written before we had Zoom calls. So we can do this same thing virtually or in person, just so you know. So don't get caught up on like specifics of these sentences. Just get the general concept here. Don't make the mistake of going with your distributor to see 5 people at one time. Go with your sponsor coach 5 times, see each person individually. If you see all 5 at once, one negative person could spoil it for the other 4. Besides, if you go with your distributor 5 times, your sponsor will get to see the presentations 5 times rather than only once. Ugh. This is basically how people learn how to talk, is what this is teaching you. This is what 3-way calls do. This is what 3-way video chats do. This is what team calls do. What they're saying is your new coach who you sign up doesn't know what to say, how to answer questions, how to handle objections. So you go with them, you talk to their new person, they listen, and the more they do that, the better off they are. Now with this training, they'll be ready to go with each of their distributors 5 times. Your distributor will become an expert practicing on their distributors' prospects, just as you become an expert practicing on their prospects. If you can sponsor 5 serious coaches by the end of your first 30 days, then you should be able to help them sponsor 5 by the end of 3 months. When your coaches are helping their 5, you're now supporting down group and teaching your people to do the same. You should be at the 3rd level by the end of 6 months. So what if it took a year? When making this presentation, the lines on either side of the 5, 25, and 125 represent your wholesale buyers, the people who signed up to get, the people that signed up, these are people who just signed up to be discount coaches. to get you off their back. That's why they signed up. So again, this is confusing if you didn't read the first 11 chapters, especially chapter 2. Chapter 2 takes 4 minutes to read. So you can go back and read this when we hang up. Go back and read chapter 2. This handout's in the Bomb Squad. But anyway, this is what the presentation should look like. You, the end of your first month, you've helped 5 people. The end of the 3rd month, 25. End of the 6th month, 125. At this point, you'd have a total of 155 serious distributors. Can you imagine if in 6 months, you have 155 coaches on your team, serious people? Well, it taught me how to do that in the pages above that. Now you may think that's impossible. Well, if we have time, I'll go and log in and show you how many coaches I have or had, how many customers I have sitting in there right now. It's remarkable to me. It will grow over time. You just have to be in it for a little while. It takes time. If you're building your business right in the process of sharing your opportunity, you'll have some who will not take advantage of it. Many of these will become a wholesale buyer, that's a customer, or a retail customer. I'm sorry, a wholesale buyer is a discount coach. A retail customer is a regular full price customer. Let us say each of your distributors downline has at least 10 friend customers. It's a mouthful. So let's say you have a coach under you, they have 10 customers. When you multiply 10 friend customers by 155 serious distributors, you would have 1,500 friend customers, all volume under you. Since your distributors also customers, you need to have 155, 150, you need this 1,700. Also consider there are 3 reasons why a distributor will purchase more products than a friend customer. Why would a coach purchase more than a customer? The coach customer is more familiar with the entire line of products. The coach customer can buy the products wholesale discount and is more likely to be generous with their personal use because they paid less. The coach customer buys products to give away as samples. You should encourage all of your distributors to use samples as well as using samples yourself. Line under 155 represent your wholesale buyers, which are not counting. This would only mean a plus. So anyway, this is just basically showing you that all this multiplies over time. The word exponential is a big word, a big important word for, and if you don't know what the word exponential means, that's one I would look up, because exponential growth can occur when we create this party atmosphere, we have everybody wanting to join us, and we start sharing that we are growing exponentially. Multiply 1,700 times 30 bucks to get total group sales per month. So the funny thing is, this book was written 20 years before Beachbody was invented, but pretty much 30 bucks is like the commission on 1 order of Shakeology for a retail customer. Most of you are in programs where your personal sales are more than $30 per month. I use this figure to be a little conservative. You don't want to completely blow your prospect's mind. That is why at level 3 you ask, what if it took a year instead of 6 months? Would it be worth it still if it took a year to get 155 people instead of 6 months? When you multiply 30 bucks times 1,700, you come up with $51,000 of volume. 51,000 TV is team volume is what Carl calls it. Point out that you're only working with just 5 serious distributors. You only have 5 people that you sponsored to get these numbers. The trick is, though, we went down and we helped your person help people, and then we helped their person help people, and we drilled down the tree. You don't have to go out and recruit 155 people. I hope that that point is clear. Like, we just have to help, teach, share with 2 serious people at first, and then we help them and help them and help them. Okay, with a volume of over 50,000 per month in sales, not counting your wholesale buyers, you should be making somewhere between $2,000 and $6,000 per month, which is what the tease was to this whole thing. The reason for the spread between $2,000 and $6,000 per month is everyone might not have their own 10 friend customers. Some might have more. At this point, you should be into your presentation 10 to 15 minutes. This is when you ask the question that lets you know if your prospect is willing to take the time to learn this book. Learn to drive. If they say no, they don't want to learn how to make money, go right to the products, get another retail customer. If they say yes, they want to learn how to drive, go to the next presentation, the difference between 5 and 6. When you complete this presentation, they'll be more than ready to check out your vehicle. So here's the $64 question. If you could be making $2,000 to $6,000 per month in 6 months on top of what you're making now, could you see yourself going back to school for 5 to 10 hours per week for 6 months to learn how to do this? So I've been reading this book for 30 minutes once a week, and we're already on page 71. So it's basically 7 weeks maybe. I've been reading 10 pages to you. And these pages are small. Go back and read them. Trust me. This presentation is simple. It explains the mechanics of how an organization can grow. It's a combination of building the organization, everyone retailing a minimum amount. Most important sentence. It is a combination of building the organization and everyone retailing a minimum amount. We don't have to sell a whole bunch of stuff. I promise. I sell a little bit, Liz sells a little bit, Brandy sells a little bit, Cloud sells a little bit, Cam sells a little bit, you know, whatever. And the whole time we're finding people like us